This episode contains discussions of violence, psychological trauma, grief, and themes of revenge. Listener discretion is advised. They called her a witch, a savior, a monster, a mother. Wanda Maximoff's story isn't one of simple good and evil. It's a slow burn. A transformation sparked by grief, fanned by loss, and set ablaze by the weight of an unthinkable power. Once an Avenger, now a cautionary tale. Her descent wasn't sudden. It was earned, forged through war, sacrifice, betrayal, and the unbearable pain of losing everything. But was she ever truly free? Or was Wanda always a ticking time bomb, set to explode the moment the world took one more thing from her? Welcome to Revenge and Madness, the show that dives deep into the stories of those who blur the line between heroism and destruction, justice and obsession. Today, we confront the tale of a woman who was once hailed as an Avenger, who became something far more dangerous, far more tragic, and far more misunderstood. This is the case of Wanda Maximoff. Wanda Maximoff was born into chaos. Raised in war-torn Sokovia with her twin brother Pietro, she learned early that peace was a luxury, and violence a constant. The sound of gunfire was more familiar than lullabies. Their family huddled in fear each night, unsure if they would see the next sunrise. Then came the day everything changed. A missile, manufactured by Stark Industries, crashed into their home. Their parents died instantly, but the second missile? It landed feet away and didn't explode. For 2 days, Wanda and Pietro lay in the rubble, staring at the blinking light, listening to its ticking, waiting for death, praying, cursing, resenting. This wasn't just the origin of her trauma. It was the seed of her hatred. The hatred that turned children into soldiers, that turned grief into fury. Wanda and Pietro didn't get therapy. They didn't get justice. They got Hydra. They volunteered for experiments, willingly. Hydra promised power, revenge, a way to never be helpless again. Exposed to the Mind Stone, they were changed, enhanced. Pietro gained impossible speed. But Wanda, she became something else, something undefined. A ticking time bomb of reality warping power, and even Hydra couldn't predict what she would become. At first she was a weapon, a tool of vengeance. She infiltrated the Avengers, planted fear in their minds, nearly broke them from within. But something shifted, not because someone redeemed her, but because she saw what unchecked hatred led to. Ultron, the artificial intelligence meant to protect the world, became its greatest threat. And in the fight to stop him, Pietro, her brother, her only family, died saving a child, a heroic act that shattered what remained of Wanda's rage and reformed it into something new. She was reborn, not as a villain, not yet a hero, but as something in between, something trying to find redemption in a world that kept demanding more from her. Wanda joined the Avengers. She stood among legends. She fought in battles that determined the fate of worlds. From Lagos to Leipzig, she was in the eye of every storm. But with each victory came a heavier burden. In Lagos, her attempt to save lives inadvertently cost them. The fallout was brutal. The world called for control, for accountability. And suddenly, Wanda found herself more a prisoner than her partner, confined to the Avengers' compound like a weapon too dangerous to roam free. Then came the Sokovia Accords, the Civil War, and once again, Wanda had to choose between what was right and what was being demanded. She chose freedom, but it came at a price. More battles, more loss, and then came Thanos. In the final moments before everything fell apart, Wanda was forced to kill the man she loved, Vision. She did what no one else could. Destroy the Mind Stone, knowing it would end him, but it was all for nothing. Thanos turned back to time and made her watch as he murdered Vision himself. And Wanda? She was left broken. Again. The battle was eventually won. Thanos was gone, but so was everyone Wanda had ever truly loved. Vision, Pietro, her parents, her children that never were, her team, scattered, her life, dust. No support, no closure, just silence, and in that silence, the Scarlet Witch stirred. Then came Westview, a town that didn't know it was about to become the epicenter of an emotional storm. Wanda arrived a ghost. No plan, no purpose, just pain. But when she stood before the empty plot of land Vision had bought for them, she broke. Her scream of sorrow birthed something unreal. Magic surged, time folded, and in seconds, transformed into a sitcom paradise. A fantasy world pulled straight from Wanda's childhood memories. A world where pain didn't exist, where laughter replaced loss, where Vision was alive, where her sons, Billy and Tommy, were real. In Wanda's mind, it was healing. In reality, it was a prison. The citizens of Westview were puppets, living props in a grief-fueled production. Their thoughts, their autonomy, their lives, stolen in the service of Wanda's need for comfort. Yet, even then, it wasn't done in malice. Wanda didn't fully understand what she'd done. To her, it was a dream she didn't want to wake from, a second chance she didn't dare question. But the cracks began to show. Visitors from outside, questions she couldn't ignore. And deep within her own dreamscape, her subconscious began to rebel, manifesting as glitches, as characters breaking script, as phantom memories resurfacing. Eventually the truth emerged. Wanda realized what she had done, and in that realization, she let go of Vision, of the children, of the illusion. She walked away, alone, once more, but not empty. The Scarlet Witch was no longer a myth. She had taken form, and Wanda, she wasn't hiding anymore. Enter the Darkhold, a book of power, of prophecy, of corruption. It didn't manipulate Wanda. It amplified what was already there. A mother grieving, a woman who had lost everything, again. She turned her sights towards the multiverse. If her children existed in another world, why couldn't she take that world for herself? Wanda moved with a single-minded purpose. She confronted heroes, tore through defenses, and defied logic and morality. Her reasoning? Simple. She was a mother trying to reunite with her children. But her methods? Terrifying. One by one, obstacles fell. Magic, science, warnings. Nothing could stop her. She wasn't looking for approval. She was chasing peace, on her own terms, even if it meant becoming the very monster she once fought against. But was she wrong, or just inconvenient? In the end, Wanda saw what she had become, not through battles, but through her children's eyes. She saw fear, disgust, horror, not of the Scarlet Witch, but of her, and in that reflection she found clarity. Her crusade, born of love, had become a nightmare. Her pursuit of family had turned her into someone unrecognizable. She didn't need to be defeated. She needed to wake up. And she did. Wanda brought it all down. The Darkhold, the temple, herself. A final sacrifice. A final attempt to make things right. Not to be remembered as a hero, but to be remembered as someone who finally chose to stop. So where do we land? Was Wanda Maximoff a victim of circumstance, or a villain of her own design? Did the world fail her, or did she fail the world? Her journey is not clean. Her choices, not easily defended. but neither is her path easily dismissed. She was never just a witch, never just a hero, never just a villain. She was all of them. A contradiction in chaos. A mother mourning. A woman who lost control of her story and tried to rewrite it in the language of grief. And in doing so, became something else entirely. So here's the final question. Was Wanda a monster, or merely human? A woman who wielded impossible power in the face of unbearable pain. Her chapter has closed, for now. But somewhere, across the infinite realities, the Scarlet Witch still lingers, watching, waiting, grieving, and perhaps healing. Where does the line truly lie between justice and madness?